Check it out, guys. I'm back with my video response to episode 266. And another fantastic episode from the Bliss and Eric. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, more great NAMM stuff. I'm going to click off that page because that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. And it's really annoying me with where the images are going in and out there. It's messing with this eye. So, first things first. Haven't listened to the episode for a while, and I've been meaning to do this video, but, you know, things get in the way. And I hope I get it right, but in this episode, PT was saying that he doesn't have cable. No cable TV. Well, we don't have cable in Australia. I guess it's kind of like that. It goes through the internet when you get paid TV. It used to be satellite, but a lot of people, such as myself and a friend of mine, found out ways to clone the little memory cards, allegedly. And I didn't really. He did most of it. I didn't know much about anything back then. Would make these cards and just buy these boxes at like a market, or I guess called swap meet or whatever, and put a dish on the roof and get instant like 200 channels. It was fantastic. Then they cut that out and made it all digital, much like the new iPhone plug. It's all digital. It's all digital. What does that even mean? So basically, you couldn't do that anymore. So now there's proper pay TV. You can get like special movies and pay per movie, and kind of like streaming. I don't have pay TV. I never have. I don't watch TV at all. I do not know what's going on in the world. I don't care. I know, I don't like watching the news because it's full of stuff about tragic stories, and at the end, someone saves a kitten from a tree. Yeah, well, I don't want to see tragic stories. I want to see happy stories, like SixStringBliss. But apart from that, yeah, I don't watch TV, so PT, I don't know what it's like for you guys, but it seems as though having cable is the norm in the States. I remember when I was at my auntie's house, this is 15 years ago now, I was amazed because back then Australia was just getting pay TV and it was rubbish anyway. It was only like another 12 channels or 15 channels, and in the States, I was watching TV and I was flicking through probably 200 channels. It was all crap, but I was flicking through them. There's a lot of I Love Lucy repeats, and I remember back then the Slayer Fest, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Fest was on. Yeah, I guess high-speed internet as well. Australia does not have high-speed internet. Australia does not. So streaming HD content lags a little bit, depending where you are, how close you are to the exchange, which is based on the big server, But I can't get high-speed internet where I am, which sucks. Government's doing something about that. It's costing billions of dollars. Let's hope it pays off. Billions of taxpayers' dollars for that. But, I see it. If you don't watch TV, you don't need TV. End of story. I have a TV. I only turn it on when other people want to watch TV. I rarely watch TV. I might watch a movie on the television, but I don't watch television programs per se. At all. Ever. I've got a 51-inch plasma television, and I do not watch TV. I bought the television because my old cathode, whatever it is, television broke after a long time. So I decided to just buy the bigger one. I could have bought a guitar with that money. Probably should have. So anyway, I understand PT and I concur, yeah, but if you can stream, I'd love to get Netflix and Zulu and things like that. Love to. But anyway, I've been rambling on about this way too long. I'm going to make this one short, guys, because I haven't listened to this episode for a little while. I've been listening to the latest episode a lot, really enjoying that, but that's for another video. So let's just highlight a few things here and what I think of them. So let's talk about Eric first. Fantastic interview with there. I like, you ask the questions, something you keep it short and sweet, straight to the point, move on. It's fantastic. No rambling about nonsense and that sort of thing, because we want to know about the products, what they do, end of story. Now, I'm looking at the, what is it called here? DC Voltage. And you know what? It's a great idea for a clean-looking pedal board. But if you have to use the proprietary pedals or mod existing pedals now, I know exactly how pedals work. That's not going to work for a lot of pedals. It will work for some. It'll work for a vast majority, but some pedals won't like the fact that you're putting some voltage down to tip. Sorry, not tip, the ring. What about some stereo pedals that you use and do things like that? You know, they're not going to like that sort of thing, but I see what they're trying to do, and I think it's a great idea. You know, making cables, I think someone on the forum mentioned that it's expensive to get stereo cables. So it's not that expensive to make them and get the parts. Even for me, where I live in Australia, where everything's astronomical, it costs the same to buy a stereo quality gold jack and stereo cable, which is really mic lead. It's no different in price from getting mono leads and so forth to make your own. Like, that's not an issue, but I see what they're trying to do, and I like it because I like a clean pedal board. I hate wires and everything. If people could see this room, it is clean. I like to know where things are. I like them to have their place, so then I know where everything is. So my pedal board, when I used to use pedal boards, which I don't now, you know, everything's in a certain spot, so I don't have to think about it. If I want to turn something on, bang, it's there, it's there, it's there. But yeah, you know what? It's not that much of a pain in the ass to use a power supply with your existing DC sockets and so forth. However, I like what they're trying to do, but I just don't think it's going to take off. I don't think it is. I think it's a great idea in theory, but in practice, no one's going to care. But good on them for making it to NAMM. Let's go to the next thing that everyone's talking about, the Gittler guitar. What a freaky looking guitar. I'm looking at it right now, and I love innovation and I love modern technology. There's nothing better than it. I don't like sticking to traditions and that sort of crap. I couldn't give two craps about the old ways and all this BS about that sort of stuff, right? Just because someone did something a few hundred years ago doesn't mean it's important, doesn't mean that I should care. But I still have respect for the innovation that they had back then that they still stick to today. However, I will not purchase their music or technology. But this idea of a titanium stick-looking guitar, and I like the fact that it's got the like separate pickups for each string, and you know, you can use it like a MIDI system, I guess, and that sort of thing. What they say, like the Roland synth stuff you can use it with, and I like it. I like a body to a guitar. There I go, contradicting myself. Don't like the old ways, but I like a body I can rest my arm on and do that sort of thing. Something that I have to disagree with what the person said that was presenting it. I have to disagree 100%. People can argue with me all they want, but when he said that you can put the acrylic backing on it to make it have a Fender feel or a Gibson feel. Now, we all know well that not only does the thickness and the shape of the neck matter, but the scale length matters. Now, the reason I don't really like Gibson or short scale guitars is I can't play them. I can't play them at all. I can only play 25.5-inch scale length guitars. Because when I go to the higher frets, I cannot play the things. I overshoot and I can't do it. So I know the fact that this guy's saying, yeah, we'll put a Gibson shaped neck on it. That's not going to make me feel like I'm playing a Gibson. That's going to make me feel like I'm playing an odd Fender. So, you know, good try, buddy, but that is not what it's about. Like, people love a short scale guitar. I remember Pipe saying he loves a short scale guitar because he loves the way that you put thicker gauge strings on it and the tension and that, and it's more of a slinky feel sometimes. You know, I totally get that. You know, and I know that there's a lot of great short scale guitars out there. I just don't know. I'm just not used to them. I didn't learn on those. I learned on Fender scales, and I could probably adapt, but you know what? I don't want to. I'm happy with what I've got. I like my 10 to 46 gauge strings. They're the perfect balance for me. And when I detune, it's so much easier to get into intonation, all that sort of stuff, you know, but for me it is. For other people may be different, but I just don't like the fact that he said that. But I do like the instrument. I think it's out there. I wouldn't buy one, but I think, you know, made out of titanium, it's got the lights underneath it and that sort of thing, and it's really out there. Will it take off? Probably not. It's a lot of money for a strange instrument, but you know, guitarists really do stick to tradition. But I think it's a great innovation. But geez, $4,000. Wow, what a price! 4,000 American. Because I know you guys in the States get guitars a lot cheaper than we do. That's a lot of money. A lot of money for that type of thing. But if that's your cup of tea, go for it. So let's talk about the last thing, because I'll keep this video short. Crystal frets. My goodness, an $800 fret job, crystal frets. You know what, and if you're playing guitar that much that you need to get a fret job, then I'm pretty sure you know of really good tech that can give you a great fret job Probably won't even take them. They can probably do it in a day. And I don't know if they charge you $800, but I like the idea of crystal frets. I really do. I like the look of them. I like the fact they can put hologram material under them. They're working on lighting them up and things like that. And I think it's a great idea. But like Eric was saying on the forum, how precise can it be when it's one guy just there, you know, with his file going away? It's like any other fret job. You know, it's not really precise. There was something in the original NAMM episode 265 where they had a machine that could make everything perfectly, even with the frets and that sort of thing, and measure in nanomillimeters or whatever. I don't know what the measurements are. If I'm paying $800 for a fret job, US and out, that is, I would expect that it would be extremely accurate. Because at the end of the day, you know what? I don't care what material my frets are made of, as long as they do the job. I couldn't care less if they were made of fossilized cow dung. It wouldn't matter at all, as long as they do the job and they don't look too bad, I guess. That's something that struck me when I was getting a guitar made. I asked Steve Benford about stainless steel frets, and I got a good honest opinion from him. And I didn't go with stainless steel frets. I was going to because it was an upgrade for high-end guitars. I've played a guitar with stainless steel frets and it is phenomenal, but it's not something that I really need. However, if I do have money to burn, of course I get crystal frets. It's interesting, really interesting. You know, I really like the look of it. But yeah, I guess, you know, I can't see too many people getting it done. But another great idea, and I guess that's what NAMM is about. It's really about what innovations do you have? How can you put that forward to the people? What kind of target market do you have? And how are you going to push that into the market? No matter how crazy it might be. I mean, because this thing, $800 fret job, yeah, people will look at it, oh, forget that. You know, but if you have the money and you like something exotic, why not? Why not? Well, guys, that's all I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to keep this one short because I'm going to get to my video response for the next episode, which I've got going to throw my 2 cents in there, of course, about my favorite things, pedals. But, guys, thanks very much. Thanks to Eric for the fantastic coverage at NAMM. Really enjoyed it. I was really looking forward to these episodes. And, yeah, guys, bliss on.